Good morning. Well, wherever you are, I guess some people it's not morning. I just talked to a friend who is in Iceland and he visited the Tower Garden farm in Iceland. So it's certainly not morning over there. But wherever you're calling in from, I'm so glad to see you. Let's see who's joined us while we wake up Facebook's algorithms. I see Jen and Robin and Kathy and Holly. Doug. Hey, Doug. Good morning, buddy. Hope that you're having warm weather in Florida, which you always do down there. Tell Sharon I said hello. Well, hey guys, let's talk about what we're going to talk about while you do this first. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about while you are tagging the people that you want to hear this. So what we're going to do this morning is I'm not a doctor. I'm a dad, a granddad, a 62-year-old that strives to be healthy and eat right and exercise every day and all those kind of things. Red light sauna, cold plunge, full body vibration plates. Have a goal to try and do 20 pull-ups this year. So, I mean, I try hard, but I'm not a doctor. But I've been on a journey ever since having a severe bout with COVID in the hospital and on some heavy steroids that mess with my metabolism and stuff. So I feel like I've been on a 4-year journey to learn about gut health, not from a doctor's perspective, from a layperson's perspective. So I'd love for you to tag right now in this chat. I'd love for you to tag people that you'd love to hear, maybe not the brilliant presentation Dr. Sachs did or that Dr. Jan could do or that Wendy as a nurse could do. Although Wendy's is pretty layperson because Wendy is a nurse, but she's a mom and a business lady first. But I just want to talk to you as a man, a dad, and maybe you have some people on your team or people that you would like to hear this. Tag them. They don't have to listen to it now. It'll stay on Facebook. We're going to wake this algorithm up and they'll get a notification to watch it later if they want to, okay? And I tell you what, I will try really hard if you will put your comments or questions in the comments. I am a one-arm paper hanger today. Trey, my tech guy that's always my buddy and helps me, that works for me, he is on fall break with his family in the Shenandoah Valley. And my daughter Hope, who helps me, has a field trip with her daughter at school today. So just put your comments, your questions in the comments. And if I don't answer them while I'm talking, because you really don't want me to, because if I try and do that and talk, we might be talking about we might go down a rabbit trail you don't want to go down because my brain cannot stay focused. I can multitask, but I would bounce around like a BB. Okay. So if you do that, that would be great. All right. Let's move into this presentation and let's talk about the topic at hand. Here's what I feel. I'm excited. I'm energized. I love our new product. It's called Super Biome. I'm telling everybody about it. I'm sending samples. I'm meeting with people, giving them samples. There are a few key people, like I've got some home run superstars that I've even sent a 30-day supply to because I know they're going to buy. But I want us to harness that excitement and enthusiasm in some special ways. You know, I talk about our incredible product that built our company, that's what everybody needs in their bodies as an essential, our fruits, veggies, and berries, and our omegas, especially the trio. I can just talk about fruits and veggies and tell them the research is there. You know, in the beginning, it wasn't. We had to talk about it a little bit like we're talking about the super biome because the research was coming. But there is so much demand and evidence that taking care of your gut will produce huge results that we're not starting without any research. It's just not our independent research yet, coming very soon. But what I want you, when you get off this Zoom or when you finish listening to this video, for those of you that are going to watch it later, I would really like for you to, I would really like for you to believe in this super biome, understand enough of the science behind it so that you have confidence to charge hell with a squirt gun, so to speak. And then you just get really simple and say, Have you ever thought about your gut health? I know, bathroom habits and all those things are not something we talk about, but I've learned a few key things, and I want you to have a few key answers when you get off the call today. You may already have them. If you've got some key bullets you've already learned from Jamie Kinsey, who's amazing, or from Dr. Sachs, or from Dr. Hitesh, or Dr. Sook that you learned at conference, throw them in the comments so everybody can benefit. But we're going to walk through some main things today. Now, as I told you, I am not a doctor. And really, this picture's here, but I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I've just had some incredible experiences and journeys. And as my buddy Doug Farrar is on the call today, as he is so good at, I have used my technology skills, and every day at 6 a.m. for about 8 weeks, I programmed my robot. Does everybody have a robot? My wife thinks I'm crazy. She named my chat GPT Charlie. She says, Curt, are you talking to Charlie again? But I do. I talk to him. I go run with my headphones on, and Charlie and I'll have a conversation about the Bible study I've got to teach tonight. I've got to teach tonight on who is the Holy Spirit. I mean, I'm going to go on a walk this afternoon, listen to my notes, and I'm going to ponder that and talk about that. Or it might be anything. But I have. You have to have the paid version, but I have one. I put mine in agent mode, and it sends me every day at 6 a.m. about, 7 or 8 pages of research on prebiotics, probiotics, the microbiome, what the impact is on several things: serotonin production, butyrate production, GLP-1 production, and your immune function. And so I get all these updates. So I've been reading this for 6 or 7 weeks, plus been on my personal journey for about 4 years since my metabolic system, my blood sugar regulation, insulin resistance, all those things got just whacked by being on high-dose steroids for 18 days in intensive care with COVID. I'm over COVID, but it took me a journey of educating myself. Got a great doctor, love my doctor, but they just were not aware. They just wanted to run a test and, give you the pharmaceutical regimen the test said run. And I said, dude, I could have run 10 miles before I went in the hospital. You did something to me in the hospital that's whacked up my system. So I figured all that out, but it was metabolic. It was insulin resistance. It had to do with all the things like GLP-1 and peptides, all those things. So I've learned a lot. I could tell you I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. There is a brand new one right down the road, but I actually didn't. But I think we have to come out of the closet and start talking about this stuff. I remember in the beginning, Jay Martin got fed up with Smokey Santillo. His real name is Dr. Humbart Santillo, who invented the formula for Juice Plus. And he was traveling and speaking, and he was like obsessed with something nobody talked about. And he would talk about the colon, bathroom habits, and cleansing the colon, and all these kind of things. And Jay finally said, if we're going to make this work, you've got to get off the colon and onto the cash and talk about the money we're going to make from this product. I think you've got to get to a little bit of a place. I don't think you have to talk about bathroom habits, all those kind of things, but a lot of people just don't talk about their gut. How does your gut feel? I've done a podcast and several things, because what really made me start thinking about this were some phrases like trust your gut. Can you trust your gut? I mean, number one, do you have feelings of your instinct, your intuition, your that first reaction, the Holy Spirit in you, if you're a believer, just giving you giving you guidance? Do you trust that, or do you not? And you waver and you get into paralysis by analysis. That's the intellectual brain side of trusting your gut. But in order for you to trust your gut, you have to have a healthy relationship with that instinct, intellect, Holy Spirit, listening and surrendering to that. And in the same way, in our physical way, we have to have a healthy gut for it to do a lot of different things. So let's don't hide this. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out. However you want to communicate. If it's next door with your neighbor, if it's on a Zoom call, if it's on a Facebook Live, if it's sending a PDF from boards or sending a video or sending a sample, we need to start talking about gut health, superbiome, and what it does. Now, let me back up one moment. As we start communicating about this, what you don't want to do is to not communicate about our essentials. This does not replace Juice Plus's almost 50 research studies over 30 years of proving, not just talking about or selling, proving that our society lives in a fruit and vegetable deficiency. We are deficient in fruits, veggies, berries, omegas. There's studies, tons and tons and tons. And I'm not going to get into this. There's so much training, but if you're not eating 7 to 13 servings of raw fruits and vegetables every day, you must have our essentials product. So we're not going to stop talking about that in our tin cans or our Voxers, but your company to be proud of, the company with a heart, is, went through a phase of post-COVID digital transformation, maybe a lack of leaders, whatever you want to call it, but we lost our innovative edge. No more. Our innovative edge is back. If you heard Dr. Sook and Dr. Hitesh at conference, and they were actually with our top-level leadership suite and the stakeholders of our company making strategic decisions about how we're going to be innovative, and that's a roadmap we're going to be on. And so what I want you to start talking about is you got to have enough fruits and veggies in your body, because that's a critical part for gut health too. But we decided there was another problem. You know how Jay, he would say, there's a problem. I'll give you an example. Jay was a problem solver. That's what made this company. Jay would say, the people that need Juice Plus the most, these young teenagers that are eating like crap, that are playing games and eating gummies and worms and and sugar worms and sourdoughs and sour patches and energy drinks and coffee all night, they're the ones that need this the most. But you know what? Their parents are still young. They're not at their highest income earning years yet, but their kids are at the highest expense years. They play tennis or they play golf or they run track or they do this. It's $100, $100, $200 for a pair of shoes and $300 to donate to get cheerleading uniforms. Their budget is tight. Let's solve the problem. Voila. He launched the Juice Plus Children's Health Study, which is now Healthy Starts, a foundation that makes it free for kids. So we're a problem-solving company where we find a problem, we solve it, and we don't just play around in that pool. We decide that we're going to own that category. Like we own the category of encapsulated fruits and vegetables. We own the category of bridging the gap between what you should eat, the fruits and veggies and berries you should eat, and what you actually eat, and we bridge that gap. So problem solved, we own that category. We even solved a problem within that problem, and Jay said he's going to fund the Healthy Starts. Now, what's the problem we're solving with this microbiome, superbiome product? Before we get into the science that you don't need to understand in detail, but you need to know enough to believe, let me tell you, Gina did an amazing job on stage, and there's 6 brand new videos on boards. You got to make sure you're on the company Juice Plus on the Go mobile board. I mean, they're using it like a machine. You can run your entire business from your phone, okay? So make sure you've gone there under What's Hot, under Superbiome, under videos. There's 6 new videos. They did a great job of capturing what was said at conference. If you don't know how to do it, ask your upline or somebody in here, some amazing person like Debbie Walton, like Jen Hageman, like one of these amazing leaders that's in this chat. Who else is in here? Carol Lee Garner. Somebody can post a link for people to join the Juice Plus on the Go mobile boards app so you can plug into all that. But here's the problem we're solving. We're going to be a hero, and we're going to own the category in which we decide to do business. We're going into the gut health space. Why? I don't have the statistics memorized, but a huge majority of people, tons take a probiotic. A huge majority of the people that take a probiotic don't see any benefit from it. And there's a huge need in that space. It's one of the most demanded spaces out there. People know they need to take care of their gut, but they're not getting results. So what's going on wrong? Well, there was a farmer's market out there when people needed more fruits and vegetables, but it wasn't convenient and people didn't do it. They didn't work. And eating a banana that was green at the grocery store when you bought it to sit on the counter to ripen, can you imagine how green it was when it was picked in South America, or a piece of fruit that was picked in a climate like that so far before it was ripe, that's like a baby being born at 30 weeks because of how much it matures that last 9 months. We solved the problem. There were solutions, but not good solutions to bridging the fruit and vegetable gap, okay? There's solutions out there, but not good solutions to solving the gut health problem. You're getting the bacteria, but you're not feeding the bacteria so it doesn't stay. You don't create a healthy farm to continually harvest from. You plant, the seeds pop up and they can't survive and they go away. So you don't have a healthy gut flora that stays there. Okay. All right. So what we have to do is we've got to get the word out that we have a breakthrough. We're going to start an avalanche. We're going to become contagious. Great book. I love to plug great books when I have words that pop in my mouth. A book called Contagious by Jonah Berger. It's amazing why things spread. It's like that rock, the first rock that started the rock slide down the hill that covered up the road. Thanks, Doug, for doing that. Doug just posted how to get the on-the-go board from Juice Plus. So grab that. Doug, you're my hero. So what do we need to be talking about? Well, we need to talk about what's the breakthrough. Why is this not just another scoop of yogurt or another probiotic or another thing I'm already doing? It's different. Why is it different? Because it's the synergy, it's the prebiotic plus the probiotic that gives us the postbiotics that create this farm. My theme for the month of October is harvest. It's harvest month. Don't you want to harvest from a healthy gut, knowing that, yes, that instinct, intellect, it does talk to your brain. It's known as your second brain. You want to know one bullet that you need to save? Don't be a scientist. But one of the things you can say is the gut today is so important that scientists are now calling it your second brain. That's the first thing you probably should write down. Not be a scientist, but that's a zinger you need to claim, okay? Somebody put that in the chat. Let's get these zingers down. I'm going to give you a few. Modern day science now considers your gut your second brain. It controls so much that's going on in your body. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But we want to create this unstoppable momentum because we have a breakthrough, because we're not just putting probiotics in, we're putting 9 strains of the bacteria, and we're putting the right prebiotic fibers and saccharides that are going to feed that good bacteria so that it doesn't just try to survive, it thrives. Do you remember, I'm going to sneak back for 1 second. Do you remember that picture in the beginning right there? Do you see that little image of what you might think is flowers on the right, okay? Did you know that's actually a microscopic, undoctored picture that our company made, microscopic photography? That actually is bacteria blooming, blossoming in I don't know if it's in a gut or a petri dish or wherever they grew it, but that's what healthy bacteria looks like. It's beautiful. Okay? So we've got to let people know that what you've been doing is not working, because you're throwing good stuff out there, but it dies because it doesn't have any way to survive. And we've created a way for the probiotic to give you the probiotics and create an environment where they can thrive. Okay? So let's get back to our main message. Let's talk about your gut as soil. You know, you've heard me, if maybe till you're blue in the face, talking about the parable of the seed and the sower and the soils. It's such a great analogy. I mean, you know, why throughout the Bible do you hear so many common sense parables and analogies made, whether it's the farmer, the soil, the seed, the soldier, the war, the battle, or whether it's the runner running the race? There's so many things that we can identify with. But let's, for this moment, I put in the description, you know, I will tell you a secret. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but I have a bunch of wasted knowledge in my brain. I was going to be a doctor. So I did take 4 years of microbiology, 4 years of organic chemistry, playing tennis at Emory, transferred to Georgia Tech, and took 4 years of calculus and ended up with a business degree. So I have a lot of wasted storage, whether it's a math brain or chemicals or biology. There's some of that just kind of comes back to me sometimes. So I feel like I do have a basic understanding of this kind of stuff, or at least when I hear it, I can learn it well. Probably could recite Rick Du Bois's talk, some of them from memory and even pronounce some of those big words like zeaxanthin and telomeres and actually know what they mean. But that's not what I say when I sell Juice Plus. Talk about fruits and vegetables. But so let's picture for a minute whether you're a mom or whether you're an MD and you have a PhD in biochemistry. This relates and it connects. Picture your gut as this field. I just actually did I recorded a video that I sent out to about 3,000 people yesterday about reconnecting with our company and getting them up to date and getting on my calendar. And I actually recorded it sitting on my tractor because I was out at my farm just in between doing some work where I could feed the deer and put some corn out. And I sat on my tractor and used a microphone to get the noise out. And that's where I kind of had the thoughts of this talk is I worked hard to have soil tested and things planted so that when it gets cold and the deer are out of natural food, that my food plot's going to come up and it's going to feed the deer so that they stay present and stay in the area. So think about your gut as a field or soil where things could be planted. And if you do that correctly, then you have a healthy gut that's, it's the right amount of moisture and it's the right amount of, it's not porous. You protect that gut barrier that's there. So you have all those beautiful flowers looking bacteria. That's what your gut looks like. It's beautiful. So what you want is you want that beautiful harvest in that soil. But if we're going to do that, we've got to put the right plants in the ground. Those are the 9. So your gut soil, let's talk about, we talked about understanding that your gut's your second brain, but your gut's like a farm. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we plant the right things, not weeds, not bad things. We plant the right things in our gut. And then we do the right things to make them grow and thrive. So our Juice Plus product, and a lot of people have been, doing this for years, trying to figure it out. I mean, I think if you're like me, how many of you the first time that you really, if you've ever heard or dealt with a probiotic, you kind of heard it like, oh, I've been on an antibiotic. My son's been on an antibiotic. I need to take some probiotics to counteract the damage that antibiotic is doing in my gut. Okay. So you would take, maybe you'd eat yogurt, maybe you'd eat kefir or kefir. How do you say that? Does anybody know? Do me a phonetic, like a double E for kefir and a short E for kefir. I see it, and I know people take it for probiotics, and they take kombucha also. So a lot of people took that in response to our world is on so many, many, many probiotics. That the antibiotics were destroying our gut, so we needed probiotics. So that's kind of like, I think that's where our society existed. It's kefir. Okay, thanks, Frank. It's kefir. Frank did it. Key, key, like a key for the car, and like fur for his mink fur coat. I knew Frank would have an analogy. You don't really have a fur coat, do you, Frank? Oh, you spell fur F-U-R too, don't you? Yep. So we got to get the right seed. So instead of, again, falling short, you're not going to eat enough kefir. You're not going to drink enough kombucha. You're not going to eat enough yogurt or the right types of yogurt, just like you're not going to eat enough fruits and vegetables or the right blend. You see, Juice Plus, we have a patent on the way we dry it, and we have a trademark and a secret formula of how much of what 30 fruits and vegetables is in there to create the highest antioxidants, most phytonutrients to get the results we get in our research. Well, guess what? We put the right amount of the right probiotics in your gut. So we have the right seeds, those 9 strains, the right ones, but they have to survive. So let me give you the next slide here. So we got to fertilize. And I have one of these big things I put behind my tractor that just shoots out fertilizer and seed like wide open. But in our gut, once you get the seeds in the ground, you need a few things. You need, if it's a real field, you need water. So our gut needs the right amount of hydration. One of our core 4 is drink enough water. So you're drinking enough water. That's not some new pill we need to take. Just drink enough water, at least half your body weight in ounces. probably even more. I know I think we go through 6 gallons, me and Hope and Lori here at the house every day. We have one of those Berkey water filters, and that's the only way I know we fill it up. And it's like crazy, crazy good how much water we drink. But it's got to have food too. It's got to have hydration and it's got to have food. And that's what our prebiotic, this little sleeve, this right here, this little sleeve, this is the prebiotic. And this is the probiotic. Where's my camera? There you go, right there. Prebiotic, probiotic, okay? And the seeds get planted, and we fertilize, okay? So that's how you need to understand prebiotic and probiotic. So when we're feeding it well, it's going to grow and it's going to thrive and it's going to look like this. Call it a weather, like a weather shield you put on your windshield or something. That balance. And you know what? I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. Trey and I created it. I forgot why we called it a weather shield, except that we wanted to create something that was thriving so that the obstacles that hit it wouldn't affect it. I'm not sure why we called it weather shield. So take note there. I have maybe we didn't finish typing that, but the key is the right balance in the gut produces the right flora, the right bacteria with the right food to feed the bacteria, and you end up getting that right balance in that beautiful gut that we produce. Now, this to me is the best illustration that I've come up with. Well, Charlie came up with this for me out of the blue. I'm learning about prebiotics and probiotics, and I know Doug's on AI doing some of the same stuff. Wendy Campbell and I, we're sharing this notebook of all these research articles we come up with. And Melinda, I love the prebiotic taste. Just for you guys that haven't tried it, I would call it kind of a lemony ginger kind of taste. I was so excited. I love the way Luminate tastes. I love the way Superfood tastes, but I did not really want something that was super sweet. And this ginger lemony kind of taste, it's really, really good. So I think you'll like it if you haven't tried it. Thanks for commenting on that, Melinda. But Charlie sent me this in one of my 6 a.m. updates I get every day. All of a sudden, he said, hey, here's a great image to explain something that people don't understand. And so if you want to send me a message on Voxer, I'll be happy to put this in a chat. I'll put it in the NMD Beavers chat. I think it's in there, and maybe y'all can share it. So how can prebiotics and probiotics help? So we've learned that what was the first zinger I told you to save? Your gut is your second brain. That's not just me saying that. That's doctors, medical science saying it's your second brain. So let's see if we can figure that out. How can Juice Plus's new product, Superbiotics, how can prebiotics and probiotics help with one of the biggest problems in the world today, and that's insulin resistance? That's what, I guess is the precursor to type 2 diabetes. And whether you know this or not, you're going to be insulin resistant for years before it actually shows up in your health, because your body adjusts and all of a sudden it can't do it anymore and it won't. So the gut microbiome is in dysbiosis instead of symbiosis, which means it's working good together. It's in dysbiosis. It's not, your gut microbiome's not healthy. It's not working together. It's not in balance, and you get insulin resistance. So you add probiotics and prebiotics, which increases, the prebiotics help increase. So we know here's some of the things you're learning. I'm going to try and give you some hooks. Second brain. What's a probiotic? Is it the seed? I'm going to ask you a question. Somebody, is a probiotic the seed or is it the fertilizer? Who knows? Probiotic is what you want to thrive. It's what you're planting. It's the seed in your gut, and the prebiotics are the fertilizer. Right there, it's like you're sprinkling fertilizer on something. See that Charlie made a great picture. And here's something to understand. How many of you, I know you're going to know the commercial names, but how many of you have heard the term GLP-1? Maybe you've heard semaglutide. Maybe you've heard some of the commercial names, like there's tons of them: Ozempic, Wegovy, Mongiorno. I don't know. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry of products that increase GLP-1 production, which are peptides that help with your metabolism, and they also help with serotonin production, which is mood and appetite suppressant. But just real quick, GLP-1 is not glucose, it's glycogen, actually. Glycogen lowering peptide. It's a peptide and a hormone. And when you take the prebiotics and the probiotics together, they're creating something called postbiotics. That's the third term. Pre plus pro equals, well, you put pro in first. Pro, planet. Pre, make it thrive. Those equal an outcome of postbiotics. And postbiotics are things like short chain fatty acids. I'm learning. So you want to learn probiotic plus prebiotic equals postbiotics. And those postbiotics, short chain fatty acids, if you want to learn one of them, you could say butyrate is one of them. It's the main one, but it increases your body's natural production of GLP-1. So maybe you don't need the shot. Maybe you had the shot, lost the weight you want to lose. Maybe, again, I'm not a doctor. I did not even stay at Holiday Inn Express last night, but I know that if we do this, our bodies are going to naturally produce more GLP-1, and maybe you can get your body naturally doing what it needs to do. Okay? So that's one of the outcomes. That GLP-1 is a hormone, a peptide. It reduces inflammation, and it helps more production of GLP-1. But some other things that healthy gut and that flora will produce. So we've got GLP-1, metabolism, blood sugar control. It's going to increase the things in your body to help with that. So remember, here's a few things. You don't have to be a scientist, but second brain, it talks to your brain. It's the gut-brain connection, nervous system, immune system, all those kind of things. So it's your second brain. You got pro plus pre equals post. And the post, the first thing we learned that is the benefit of the post are the things like butyrate that help increase GLP-1 production, help your metabolism and blood sugar. Second, did you know that if you have that beautiful field that's thriving, guess what exists and lives in that field? 70%, some even say 80% of your immune system lives there. Do you want your immune system to be able to thrive and be stronger than the bugs your body faces? Or do you want it to live in a depraved and sad and weak and unhealthy gut so that it's struggling when it needs to be fighting for you? 70%, some say 80% of your immune cells live in your gut. It's huge. So do you want it to have a healthy home? I do. So that's another thing you could learn. Or even if you don't memorize all these things, if me just telling you, and you can validate anything I'm telling you. Dr. Sook and Hitesh talked about it at a conference. It's in those 6 videos. If you want to watch, the main one you really want to watch is the 28-minute one that has Dr. Sook and Dr. Hitesh on there going through all the details and science of the product, the industry, and what it does. Another thing, how many of you know or have heard of serotonin before? Raise your hand if you've. Give me a smiley, happy face if you've heard of serotonin, because it is your happy hormone that God gave you. Plug another book. Does anybody have a hard time sleeping? Or do you have a hard time managing your time? If you do, you should read a book called Making Room for Life by Randy Frazee. It's God's design for time management. It goes into why we don't sleep. God makes our body produce serotonin, which sunshine wakes us up. Let's go seize the moment and be productive and do our things we need to do. God made melatonin for when we slow down, have dinner, spend time with our family, turn the lights out. It's dark at night. Melatonin. That's why in a few weeks when time changes, I wish we'd never time change. I wish it would stay on one calendar. I wish our current administration and Congress could vote to not change to daylight, just stay on daylight savings time and let's don't go to time zone. Don't get me on that. But anyway, so at night, it'll come earlier in 2 weeks, but the melatonin gets secreted. But your gut, I haven't done research on the melatonin yet, so I'm not not telling you something. I just haven't done the research on that yet. But I know one of the things that satiates appetite, one of the things that makes you feel good and thrive and feel like you've got energy to go conquer the world is God's happy hormone, serotonin. It's made in the gut. Do you want more serotonin, more happy hormone in your life? Do you want your body to be able to produce it better? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And so that healthy field is producing more serotonin for you. Okay. There's so much more skin health, eczemas, the psoriasis, those things that cause skin problems. Your gut is responsible and contributes to your skin health. All these things. Okay. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, you can scan this QR code if you want to. These are good partner talking points. This is a good way for you to access boards. This is the public page, but if you follow the link that Doug put in here earlier, somebody can repost Doug's thing if you want to put it further down. This is good talking points. So scan that QR code if you want to. You can. The good thing on these Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives, you can back up and go back and, pause the screen, pause the video, and screenshot whatever you want to screenshot. Okay. This is another one, and I didn't know how good this was going to turn out. And I'm not taking any credit. Yes, Trey has me posing in crazy ways for thumbnails. He says that's just what you do on YouTube, and I said, okay, you do it. I don't care. But the Dr. Sachs in the middle, she's the superstar, functional medicine doctor, which is the kind of doctor you need today. Talking about our core product, Juice Plus Essentials, and how Superbiome fits in with it. It's about a 35, 40-minute podcast. I thought it turned out amazing. Watch it for yourself and see. There's the QR code to find that for some more information. This is a link to the company's replay that they did right after a conference on a Tuesday night. I think it was a Tuesday night. Don't hold me to that date. But they did a replay, and it had Gina, Dr. Hitesh, and Dr. Silk, and Jamie Kinsey were on there. There's a link to that for you, just as a benefit. And I'm gonna be kind of bad, I guess, for a minute, because I love to help everybody. But if you're on our team, you can't do this if you're not on the Beavers team somewhere, because we've all put our money in. Four of our top NMDs have put money in this, me and the three of them, to make this contest possible. So me and David Beavers, Wendy Campbell, and Harriet Seltzer funded this. So if you're in our downline and would like to participate, you've still got 2 weeks left in October, because everybody's in. We're giving away $4,000, $1,000 grand prize, 2 $500 prizes, 10 $100 prizes, and 20 $50 prizes. Every time you get a customer, you get your name one more time in the drawing, okay? But go to makealife.com/bust your gut. You can register. You have to register. And as a partner, in order to play in the contest, you have to have your own subscription. So that's something you can do. And some other leaders, y'all may be doing different things with your teams. That's what we're doing with our team. We have new podcast audio version. So Dr. Sachs is also on audio. And if you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast, or you can just go to makealife.com/podcast, and you can click on the link right there, phone or computer. You can have the audio version. We've found that when we do these podcasts, we make them so that you don't have to be looking at the screen to get the benefit, because a lot of people work out, drive their car, do chores, take a hike, ride their bike or whatever, stick some headphones in, and they can listen. So there's an audio version of the talk with Dr. Sachs also. And I will give you a heads up, just so you'll know. We don't have a slide for it yet, but next Tuesday, it's going to be at a weird time. Next Wednesday, October 22nd, Paula Tate, who is a QNMD, an amazing lady, has a mama of 2, lives in Knoxville. Her uncle, Dr. Tom Neighbors, who is a renowned dentist, research renowned, major leaguer, all kinds of credibility. His major research has been done on the oral microbiome. He's a huge proponent of Juice Plus, and now a huge proponent of Superbiome. I'm going to do an interview with him for our next podcast. Crazy time because it's when everybody was available. It'll be on the audio podcast so you can listen to it, but we'll be live on October 22nd at 8 a.m. right here on this Facebook page and YouTube channel. And he's going to talk about, you ever heard that song, the hip bone's connected to the knee bone and the knee bone's connected to the shin bone, and how all the way down your ankle bone, your foot bone, you can go backwards, your butt bone, your backbone or whatever, all that's connected. So sometimes if you've got plantar fasciitis in your foot, you have to go all the way back up to find out what's not stretched and what's out of line. And sometimes it's your lower back that's causing your foot to hurt. Well, there's that same connection with the oral microbiome and the microbiome in your gut and how they all need to be healthy. And he's going to talk about how there's so many indicators of what's going with the microbiome that's in your oral cavity in your mouth, how it's pointing to a healthy or unhealthy microbiome in your gut. So it's going to be really interesting to hear from Dr. Tom Neighbors, dentist. I'm going to interview him on October 22nd, and we're going to talk oral microbiome, your gut microbiome, what's the connection, and he's going to explain from his perspective how important it is for both of those to be healthy, okay? So there will be, Hope is working on an image and a graphic, and there will be a graphic on that coming to you, hopefully by the end of the day today, but that's next Wednesday, the 22nd. And then on the 29th, we tried to pick a night. There was no company calls, no conflicts. We're going to have our best year ever call focusing on harvest. And Christy Klamer is going to be one of the speakers, and one of the speakers right now is in Iceland, and I'm having to confirm them. And so I'm not going to give you the lineup. The lineup of the speakers is coming, but we're going to talk about not just in your microbiome, but what does it look like for you to have a healthy field? Because farmers, they're seasonal. They plant, they water, feed, seed, and they harvest, and they got to store up for the winter. We don't want to do that. We want to learn how to we want to be planting and sowing and seeding and feeding and weeding and watering constantly so that the harvest is always there when we need it. That means the paycheck's always there at the end of the month, okay? We're going to grow that paycheck. We're going to produce that amazing harvest, but we want to keep the harvest present. So what do we have to do to make this fourth quarter of 2025 the best quarter ever? Hopefully it's contributing to a best year ever for you and a great year. But in order to have a great future and a great tomorrow, you have to bite it down in chunks. If you want to eat that elephant, what bites do you need to eat now? How do you prepare to get the most bites in so that you can celebrate the eating of that elephant or the harvesting of the fruits of your business? So that's going to be on the 29th at 7 p.m. On November the 7th is our next live power hour. You can join us on that. There are lots of power hours out there, but I just do one. I can't do them every week. But I do one a month. It's live, and you can watch it here on Facebook or YouTube, but we also give you a Zoom link. You go to makealife.com/power hour. You can join via Zoom, and it's interactive. You can ask questions. We do the power hour, and then we do Q&A, and at the end we have Q&A for as long as we need to go, okay? Another thing, these are all, you don't have to do all these things. I'm just giving you options. I would like to be a cattle prod for you if you need it, because I know your week, every week, it's just going to happen and unfold the way the world wants to dish it out to you, unless you decide on Sunday night or Monday morning, and I'll tell you in a second why Sunday night's better, to be proactive and be intentional, and you make your week what you want it to be. You don't just let your week happen. That's why our podcast is called Life. It's what you make it. It's not life. It's just what happens. No, that's not satisfactory. So if you need a little punch, a little inspiration, a quote, and a reminder each week, it's once a week. It's not a bunch of text messages. Sign up, get off whenever you want to. But if you'll text "wake up" to that number, 478-377-7701, text that keyword from your phone, you can be added to that list. You can share that with anybody on your team, or maybe it's one of your kids that needs to wake up and take charge of their week at school, their sports, their homework, their church, social life. Maybe you want to teach good habits early. I don't care who gets on there. It's just a reminder each week. You get it Monday morning. Now, I didn't want to bother people on Sunday, so I do send it out on Monday morning. But if you want a super inside tip, this is proven scientific neuroscience, as Catherine Lee would explain. If you will plan your week out on Sunday evening before you go to bed, here's what happens. I don't know how to explain it, but your brain, if you go to bed on Sunday night with your week unplanned, in a little bit of disarray or chaos, or just an unknown of what's coming, who you're going to be with, how are you going to react, if you go to bed in that status, your brain subconsciously worries about creating order with all those things. I can guarantee you 100% promise that I can help you get one night out of 7, at least one night's better sleep. If you will, Sunday before you go to bed, plan your week out. Just have clarity in your mind of what the week looks like. There are going to be things that pop up. There are going to be add-ons. Life's going to happen. I'm not saying you're going to put it in a box and you're going to make it happen this way. But if your body, your brain, your hormones, your emotions, your stress, your anxiety, when you go to bed on Sunday night, feels like you've got your week organized. You got a plan. I need 8 hours sleep. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to seize the week. If you'll do that, I promise you, you'll get a better night's sleep. October events, 3 of them. This is the third one, have already happened. We're going to do a Finish Strong next Wednesday to take it. We'll have a week left, actually almost 10 days left to slam dunk and finish out this month. And then on the 29th, we've got that harvest training. And you can find me anywhere, all over. I'm got into this crazy internet stuff early enough in the beginning where I think everywhere my handle is at Curt Beavers. You don't have to hunt for my name, but I'm happy to connect with you. Everybody that's in this business deserves what I got, and that is to having faithful leaders around me that were willing to mentor me. And we all have limited amounts of time. And I can't promise you I can do it live. I can't promise you I can do it one-on-one. But if you need help, I can promise you that I will help you. I will help you find help, because this business is too amazing for you not to be on the right track, on the right journey with this product right now. You've not seen innovation in a company explode like you're about to see Juice Plus. Just think about the last 5 years, the last 2 years with technology. It was all stirring the pot. You ever seen somebody that makes amazing food, but they never use a recipe? They just keep throwing things in until they figure it out. Well, guess what? We have figured it out. Travis Garza is at the helm. Some of the most powerful investment companies in the world are backing our future and our innovation. It's so exciting to be at this place, at this time, at this moment. So if you don't have, reach out to me if you need to. Listen next Wednesday when I interview Dr. Neighbors on the oral microbiome and how it connects to the gut. And have an amazing day. And may the person who puts God first, does everything they can with all they've got, with zeal and 100%, may you win the race. Because we're all in this together, and we can all win in our business. It's not one person gets to the top. We all can be at the top of our own business. That's what's amazing. There's not one CEO, not one pyramid. Each and every one of you can build your own pyramid. The pyramid's a bad word, but you can all be the CEO of your own business. That's what's amazing about our model. And when you build a team, nobody benefits off of somebody else until they benefit first. It's an amazing model. So learn it, understand it, get this product in your body so that you can flourish and have the zeal and energy to go build an amazing business. God bless. Have a great day. And until we talk next time, adios.